All right, just off of work, I want to talk to this audience about the 17th Amendment. How many people really know about the 17th Amendment? Why is it important? Why I think it's important? Always interested to know what you guys think. First of all, let me explain what the 17th Amendment is in general. I'm not going to go down into the weeds with this. The 17th Amendment was created under Woodrow Wilson. The idea of the way we elect senators today is everybody in the land of that state votes and they pick a senator. Now, is there really any vetting process with a senator? Absolutely not. One guy runs around and says, he sucks, and I approve this message, and you're going to vote for me. The other guy runs around and says the same thing. That's not a vetting process. One of the problems we have in this government today, and one of the dangers, is we have senators that are not doing the best for their state. They are doing the best for their party. And that goes for both sides. So if your senator is from New York or California and they are voting on a bill because their buddy across the aisle sitting in Iowa or South Carolina, or it could be a real liberal state like New Jersey or New York, and you don't want that because you're from a conservative state, well, they're going to vote with that party. They're not voting that this is good for the people of Wisconsin. This is good for the people in New York. Forget that. They're paid out of federal funds and they are on a tour when you elect them. And that's really what it is. Keep in mind, I'm ad-libbing this and I'm going off of memory. So anybody can pin me down on details. We'll skip that part for now. We'll just move on. The way the 17th Amendment should really work and the way it would benefit all of us as Americans is not the system that they have now. It needs to go back to the system we had. So here is a proposal. Curious what you guys think. Senators that want to run for office for the U.S. Senate, they do their campaign, they get their votes, and they become the nominee. You have the Democrat Party nominee and you have the Republican Party nominee. Once those nominees are picked and it's set, they go in front of the state Congress, meaning the state of New York, the state of Wisconsin, whatever state they're from, and let all of the people vet them. This is where the audience will get the vetting from them. So now you get to ask these questions of them. Just like the nomination process when a president picks a Supreme Court justice or any other department head for that they want to run in the government. So here's the way it will work. Right now, senators get paid $220,000 a year, federal money. But are they doing the job that's best for that state? The only time you ever see them is when it's time to vote. Forget about that. You want them to know and you want to hold them accountable. Senators are not held accountable, not for 6 years. So what happens now is if you get a Schumer or a Pelosi, I know she's a rep, but I'm making a point, or some other person that is really horrible for your state, how do you deal with that? You just got to sit and suck on it. It's almost impossible to get them to pull back. So here's the proposal. You get these guys to run around and do their campaign. They sit in front of the state Congress to vet. The state Congress then decides if they are a viable candidate or not. Or maybe they don't even decide. They just put it out in public and ask them a series of questions. There's not a nomination process. They are doing their diligence for the people of their state to put these guys in front of the public view and ask them all kinds of questions. Then they can go back on the campaign trail, and based on what you hear, now you know at least what you're kind of getting from each candidate. Once a vote tally is taken, that winner is then appointed by the governor. And here's why. Because if that guy goes up to Capitol Hill and he is not doing diligence for that state, the governor can pull him back. We can talk about the nuts and bolts, how that would work, but it would be very easy. The governor of the state pulls him back. You have access to your local government much more than you do the federal government. So if there's enough pressure put for a guy who keeps voting for party or voting against what is really hurting the people of his state, the governor can recall him. Now, the funding part, this is the best. He's paid out of state funds. You could take a look at what your state senators make, and they don't make a lot. Maybe it's $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. Well, you pay them a little above that to be a U.S. senator. But they're paid out of state funds. So the state has more control of what that guy or girl does. That's my opinion. I would love to take questions. I'll put this up on Facebook. You can hit me back. If you think it's a good idea, not a good idea, if you see some flaws in it, let me know. All right, talk to you guys later. I love my Patriots.